Honorable Men Discord. Actress Cheryl Lee Ralph is married and separate. Let's talk about it. So Sarah Lee Ralph, actress known for movies like The Mighty Quinn with Denzel Washington and The Distinguished Gentleman, and for TV series such as The Jeffersons, Moesha, Wonder Woman, Good Times. She's a woman who is extremely confident, hardworking, and about her business. So recently she was interviewed by People magazine where she spoke about a lot of things, honestly, but one in particular was about her arrangement with her and her husband, whom they do not live underneath the same roof. So her husband is Senator Vincent Hughes of Pennsylvania, and he lives in Pennsylvania, I believe, and then she lives in California. But in that interview, she goes on to speak about how it came about, why it works for her, and she's unapologetic about that union. She doesn't care what anyone thinks about it. But if you haven't seen that People magazine interview, take a look at this.
Cheryl Lee Ralph, the fabulous, told People magazine that the secrets to her happy 19-year marriage, which includes living about 2,400 miles away from her husband, Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes. Take a look.
He has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good.
So I'll be honest, when I first heard about this, I was blown away because maybe it's me, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I always viewed marriage as a husband and wife under the same roof. For companionship, to raise the family together, and to be each other's support system. So hearing that a 60-year-old woman is married to a man who doesn't even live in the same state as her was very interesting to me. I thought it was ridiculous, to be honest with you. I thought the whole idea was ridiculous. But this is the Western world. In the Western world, pretty much anything goes, you know. But this is something that the two of them felt was best due to their occupation and their lifestyles. But the question is that I have is this going to be the new model for others? Because when other women get a glimpse of this interview, they may be motivated to try that out, especially those that are comfortable with being alone. The idea of, well, I could be married, he can keep his place, I could keep my place, might be a thing. And if it becomes a thing, what do you all think of that? Another question I have about this particular union is whether or not it may be good for decreasing the divorce rate. Maybe people need their space, and maybe this is something that many of us didn't realize is a good thing. Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate because I really think that I don't think it's the best model out there. You know, at most, you know, I spoke to my colleague about this. At most, I can see if you're married, you're under the same roof, and maybe you have separate rooms, at most, or you're at least in the same state, so like you're a drive away, in case of emergency. I just don't see the point in being married and my wife is in a completely different side of the country. If there's an emergency for either one of us, we now have to book a flight. And it doesn't, some people might look at it like, well, they got the money, so why does that matter to you? It actually doesn't matter to me. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate in whether or not this is going to be the model for future people who can afford to hop on a plane to see their spouse. For any reason, to see their spouse for good times, for bad times. Because part of marriage is being there for that person. If that person should have a health condition and something goes wrong, your spouse is the one that's usually going to be able to be there to help you. Whether they come home to seeing you in a life-threatening position, at least there's someone. Some may argue, well, we all grow old and eventually pass away, and we're going to be by ourselves anyway, and we'll have to fend for ourselves, and life figures it out for us. That could be an argument, but I guess this really comes down to personal preference and whether or not you and your spouse subscribe to a religious belief. Because I don't know if in Christianity it says anything about you having to live under the same roof. I don't think that was something that needed to be mentioned. But this is 2025, and people are looking for specific details on how they're supposed to go about their life. I don't know if for any other religion, if that's something that's mentioned in their doctrine about husband and wife living under the same roof. If that is a thing, please let me know in the comments. Please educate me. I'd like to know that. But this is interesting because from Cheryl's own words, they fell in love, and obviously they both married each other to show each other that they're committed to each other. That it's not just a long distance relationship. It's more than that. And it's more than that, they'll say, because they're married. They took it a step further and got married. They found each other, and they obviously have the same or similar points of view. And because they're both busy people, they understand each other. So, the question that I pose is, for some of those couples, and just for the sake of this conversation, some of those couples in Hollywood that weren't able to survive marriage without ending up in divorce, would this arrangement have worked for them? So the first couple I thought about was Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, and this is not to shame them for their divorce, but would an arrangement like this have worked for them? Would this have made their relationship and marriage last longer? Maybe sometimes space is what couples need in 2025. Different circumstances, different environments need different measures, I guess. It's a new day and age. I'm just asking. I don't see the point. I understand why they would get married to to profess their love to one another, but I just don't see the point in it. Intimacy. Now, unless there are two people that have the same exact viewpoint on life, where it's like, I don't need somebody up under me every single night. I like my space. When I need the company and I call her, she gets on a flight. There's never any issues about her getting on a flight to come see me. If that's the type of relationship that they have, then I guess who are we to even speak on it? But again, my question to everyone is this something that may be the new norm? And are there any other couples out there that are doing this that we don't know about? If you know of any couples that are currently doing something like this, please let me know in the comments. I'm curious. But as always, I appreciate you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back with more content. Honorable Men Discord. Take care.